Hi everyone, this is Let's Rock Twin Peaks Talk. I am Marc LaRock, and I just wanted to come on YouTube today. It is Sunday, December 17th, 2017. I want to talk about how I think Twin Peaks was robbed of a Golden Globes nomination this week. The Golden Globes announced its list of nominations on Monday. Kyle MacLachlan was nominated as Best Actor for his role in Twin Peaks, but that was the only nomination that was connected to Twin Peaks at all. But first, I have the Twin Peaks News Bulletin. This week, Twin Peaks fans marked the election of Alabama Democrat Doug Jones by going to social media and sharing memes of our Dougie Jones from Twin Peaks. There was a story in Newsweek about this too, which was shared by actor Kyle MacLachlan. He said what Dougie would say, "Hello." Hello. Next, we have Laura Dern, who plays Diane in Twin Peaks. She hit the silver screen in the new blockbuster hit Star Wars, The Last Jedi, and she plays Vice Admiral Emmeline Hodo, and she has this wild colored hair, and she's kind of like a very strong feminist kind of character who pushes back against a kind of hotshot mansplaining X-Wing jet fighter. But she said in her interview this week that Twin Peaks, in working with David Lynch, helped her prepare for the strict rules of spoiler culture surrounding the new Star Wars movie. And last up, the Twin Peaks season finale was one of the top trending season finales of 2017, according to Google. That was recently announced, in addition to other trends, including Riverdale, which stars Machen Amick, who plays Shelley Johnson. Riverdale was one of the top trending TV shows of 2017. So, there you go. So, the real reason I wanted to make this video is just to talk a little bit about how I think Twin Peaks, the new Twin Peaks Season 3, was snubbed or robbed from a nomination for the Best Limited Event Series category for the Golden Globes. IndieWire had a recent article which also agreed with that it was snubbed, and they even said that it was rudely not included in the category, which also included a show called Feuds, which in my opinion is not anywhere near as close to as good as the new Twin Peaks. It's about some historic feuds between celebrities, and I think this one focuses on some feud that was held by Bette Midler and some other celebrity. I also just think Twin Peaks Season 3 was one of the best artistic achievements on TV throughout the year. I think a lot of critics in different newspapers throughout the United States have talked about how daring and risk-taking the show has been to be artistic and creative within the medium of television and pushing the boundaries of what you can do. I know a lot of people had maybe complaints about the plot or lack of plot. It was a very simple plot, and surrounding it a lot of unresolved stories. But in my opinion, it's something new, something different, and it's, painting a picture in a way that television shows had never done before. In my opinion, it's sort of a meditation on the idea of nostalgia with the backdrop of the world of Twin Peaks. kind of talking about how, going back to Twin Peaks, it's not as easy as it seems, or, you're not always going to like the way it turns out. I think a lot of the show is filled with meta-referential kind of an extended metaphor about this. I think, another one of the techniques throughout the show is creating these plot lines that are clearly unresolved, but in my opinion, they're meant to spark kind of the creative juices in the viewer and get them to think about what happens when you don't get to see the characters. For instance, when they're in the boardroom at the Lucky 7 insurance company, and there's a guy named Dern, and he turns over to the woman, very beautiful woman next to him. She's, enveloped in her smartphone, but he asks her if she got the note he sent to her, and she says, "Tell it to your wife, Darren." So obviously there's a lot of backstory there, but we never get any more of it, and this happens throughout a lot of the series, which I'm actually really interested by and really enjoyed. I know a lot of people maybe have been bothered by that, and the scenes that seem to go on forever sometimes and build up tension and just kind of played with the viewer. These were all things that I appreciated, but perhaps they bothered a lot of the voters and as part of the Hollywood Foreign Press Association. Maybe there's other reasons that Twin Peaks didn't get the nomination for Best Limited Event Series. Perhaps they were just thrown off by the fact that Twin Peaks was a show 25 years ago, and they couldn't quite grasp with how this could be considered a limited event series if that was the case. Or perhaps it was just, it came out too late in the year. I don't know if that's a valid excuse, but perhaps there just wasn't enough of an effort done to persuade the voters. I know a lot, that's a big factor in nominations in Hollywood, the campaigns and how much money is spent on the campaigns to get shows nominated for various awards, to ingratiate the voters with the different studios that have created the shows using gifts and so forth. Anyways, that is my take on how I believe Twin Peaks Season 3, a limited event series, was snubbed, was robbed of a Golden Globes. And perhaps some might even say, I'm not going to say this, but perhaps the Golden Globes is rigged.
Rigged.